Boy, these Eagles are good, man. These boys is good, man. We're going to talk about what we learned in this Eagles victory over the Texans. It wasn't beautiful, but at the end of the day, that 8-0 looks great. Looks great. So let's get into it, man.
You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast. So today we are going to talk about this Houston Texans victory, man. It feels good. First half was a little bit scary. Second half was more of what we want to see, but I'm not feeling good. I don't know if you can hear me. I feel sick as heck, so I wanted to at least get a video out. I'm going to try and go live later on if I'm feeling a little bit better, but I at least wanted to get something out to talk about this. So I want to talk about what we learned, man, about this team. I think that there was some good things, some bad things to take from this game. So we're going to go over, we'll call it three. We'll call it three things that we learned, all right? And before we get into that, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. We are on the road to 4K. We would love for you guys to join that ride. So let's hop right into it. The first thing I learned, all right, the first thing I learned is that Javon Hargrave might be back. Javon Hargrave has been having a very quiet season up until this point. He had a good game or two here and there, but yesterday, I should say, was a game that Javon Hargrave is definitely going to need to build upon. He was out there, and especially with the loss of Jordan Davis, which we'll talk about, Javon Hargrave is going to be somebody that we're definitely asking to give us a lot. Look, Marlon Tialapatu, when he was out there, wasn't really looking that effective, if I'm being 100% honest. We saw Fletcher Cox go down, and that was a little bit scary, and then that's something that may happen. We are very thin at that defensive tackle spot right now. And look, Milton Williams is kind of coming into his own, but it's taking him some time. So we need Javon Hargrave to be as good as he was yesterday. We need Javon Hargrave to be very disruptive at that defensive tackle position. You now have a situation where you have a lot of defensive ends, a lot of edge rushers that are going to take a lot of pressure off of these guys on the interior. So I need to see Javon Hargrave continue this success. Build upon what you did against the Houston Texans. Help that interior line. If you're a guy that doesn't need to come out for 4 to 6 weeks, then that might help us get by this Jordan Davis thing, which losing Jordan Davis, and I call it a thing, but losing Jordan Davis, I don't think anybody realized how impactful it would be. But look, we went against Damian Harris, who, if you look at a lot of the numbers last night, he has sneakily had a very, very, very good season. So he went out there, he ran hard nose, and it is what it is. He was running through the gut of our defense. And that is where we miss Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is the guy that's going to make him go outside, make him go into the teeth of our defense when it comes to Hassan Reddick, when it comes to, Brandon Graham, if it comes to whoever it may be. Jordan Davis is going to be that guy that redirects the running back and the running game in general. Not having that was very obvious. But I will say, I don't think that we played terribly. I think that the Houston Texans played very well. I really do. I cannot sit here and just take away everything that the Houston Texans did. The Houston Texans came in with a game plan, and they implemented that game plan almost perfectly. Obviously, in the second half, we were able to adjust and make some things happen. So I'm proud of our team for making it work. But hey, kudos to the Houston Texans. They came out with a good game plan. They were going to try and run it down our throats, knowing that we didn't have Jordan Davis. And for a while, it worked, man. So, kudos to them. All right. So the first one is Javon Hargrave is taking over that spot and helping us in the meantime while we don't have Jordan Davis. Number two is going to be this offensive line. This offensive line, I've said it before, and a lot of people have told me I'm pessimistic, I'm a hater, I don't watch enough football, whatever you want to say. This offensive line gives up a lot of pressure. Up the middle, not so much, but even last night we saw some guys going up the middle, going up on Landon Dickerson or Jason Kelsey once or twice. And, it's not a consistent thing up the middle, but it does feel like a consistent thing off the edge. I feel like we still aren't necessarily picking up the blitz that well, and Jerry Hughes was having his way. Whether it was Jordan Mailata or Lane Johnson, he got the best of both of them a couple of times. And Jordan Mailata, maybe he has to have a little bit of a wider stance. Maybe we need to put the tight end on his side for some help. I don't know, but it seems like speed is his kryptonite. I've never seen Jordan Mailata looking that, I don't even want to say lost, but he just he didn't look up to snuff. He really didn't. Jerry Hughes was having a night, and kudos to him. But we have to figure out this edge rush or edge situation. We need to figure out this blitzing situation. How are we going to go into the playoffs and handle this? How are we going to fix this situation? Because if you go against a team, look, I'm not looking at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not looking at the New York Giants. I'm not looking at the Washington Commanders. I'm looking at the Buffalo Bills. I'm looking at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm looking at guys that we're going to probably have to beat in order to get where we want to go. And it's no slight to the rest of the NFC East. I just don't think those are the guys right now. So I am putting my team up against guys like the Buffalo Bills. How are you going to stop their defense from blitzing you? How are you going to stop their defense from just sending guys off the edge and beating your offensive line? I need these questions answered. And I think that we will find out over the next couple of weeks, but it's something to be, I don't want to say concerned about, but it's something to be wary about. It's something to definitely keep your eye on and see if we can improve there, because we're not unhealthy, right? We're not missing guys, right? We got who we want at that offensive line position. It's time for them to do something with it. So I'm not saying that we're bad on the offensive line. I'm not saying, everybody worry, you know what I'm saying, get scared. I'm just saying I didn't like what I saw last night from the offensive line consistently. Obviously, it got better, but I want to see us be able to stop a guy like Jerry Hughes. I mean, it really does come down to something like that small. It really is. It's just, you got to be able to stop defensive lines like the Houston Texans. I don't think that they have a top tier defensive line. I could be wrong, but that's, that was really what concerned me about the offensive line, and obviously having a quarterback like Jalen Hurts kind of masks that, right? It kind of masks that, inability to really stop a lot of these great pass rushers, because he can run out the backfield. We saw a couple times where Jerry Hughes almost smacked the ball out. And, Jalen Hurts made great plays to be able to hold on to that ball and get out of the pocket, and sometimes made it into a big play. Sometimes he fell a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage, and that's all you can really ask. So I like what I saw, and I like how they handled it in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like in the game, obviously you can't just go out there and be like, Lane, you can't get beat like that. All right, let's redo it. You can't do that. But in the moment, they handled it well. Jalen Hurts made great plays. Jalen Hurts was very mindful of where he was on the field, which is beautiful to see. So I'm not mad about it, but it is definitely something I want to see improve. I feel like this offensive line has had trouble, especially with the blitz and especially coming off the edge. So it's just something I want to see improve, man. Again, I'm not saying, everybody get worried. I'm not saying everybody throw away your Eagles jersey. I'm just saying it's something to be worried about. Now, lastly, what did I learn about this team? I learned that Miles Sanders is out there running like he heard all of us wanted another running back. I heard that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I learned, that he still has a chip on his shoulder. I learned that Nick Sirianni is that dude. Nick Sirianni is about to get kicked out of a game one of these days with his emotional outbursts. I love it. I love everything about this team, man. I learned that this team is never going to give up. There were so many things we learned from this game that we really did. But this is the real deal, man. This team is the real deal, and I'm very, very excited to see what the Philadelphia Eagles are going to do down the line. Because, look, we went out there, we started off slow. Houston Texans came with the game. They came wanting to beat us. I mean, it's no secret. Obviously, we're going to get the best out of every team we face from here on out. They gave us their best shot. They gave us everything they had. You know what I'm saying? They spent every bullet in their however you want to say it. They went out there and went all in against us, which we're going to see all year. Everybody wants to beat the undefeated team. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to find a way. I really, truly believe that. I feel like that's something we learned in this game. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to find a way to win. Whether it be through the ground game, whether it be through your defense, whether it be a mixture of the two. I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles, this team, is going to find a way no matter what. So I'm excited, man. I'm really excited about this team. I think that this is a Super Bowl contending team. Will they win it? Who knows? But at the end of the day, I know that this Philadelphia Eagles team, this Philadelphia Eagles coaching staff and front office are going to do everything in their power to win. And that's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask for. The Philadelphia Eagles are 8-0. I want to know what you guys learned. What do you learn? What have you learned, good or bad, from this game against the Texans? How confident are you moving forward? I'm pretty darn confident, man. I'm pretty darn confident. And it's not about the Texans. It's about the games inside the games. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This year is not about the numbers. This year is not about, the wins and losses. While it's beautiful being undefeated, this year is all about the games within the games. And when you see Jalen Hurts being able to take on new challenges almost every week, this defense being able to take on new challenges almost every week, facing new, obstacles and everything, that is where I'm getting my confidence. I am hype. I think that this team is slowly figuring it out, and they're winning as well at the same time. They're getting better, and they're trying to figure out how to play together, and then they're winning at the same time. So I'm hype. I'm excited. I think that this is a very good team. You guys let me know what you're thinking in the comments. But other than that, man, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Pete, man, I'm sick, man. I ain't gonna do all the yelling stuff. Peace, though. I love y'all. I love y'all.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season here, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.